to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in week 4.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman.
And that is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Play action. It's Wilson.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on down to kick it away for Denver. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
First carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
They got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Raiders at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved up the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Broncos will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They go play action with Wilson.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Down to about the 45.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield down. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
From the 2, here's 1st and goal.
Mayfield looks to throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
He's at the 50. The 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps an early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came expect the offense to light this game up, but so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. Badgley now to kick this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's going to let this one go deep. And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. Picked off by Justin Simmons. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
Now, think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Broncos got themselves a star when they took Williams early in the 2nd round in 2021. He finished 3rd among rookies and 13th in the league in rushing, despite splitting carries in the Denver backfield. They've clearly positioned him to be their bell cow this season. 1,000 yards, the bare minimum of what they expect from him in this campaign.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2 yards left on 2nd down from the 9. A give to Williams, running right. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Javonte Williams, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and
his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos are going to...
Possession of the football. After the interception, here's Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw again is Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Wilson. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
He's got the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Jalen Smith, the NFC's leading tackler in 2020, there on the stop defensively. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hurry! Well. Regular. Point it right.
Here's Mayfield. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Mayfield. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick.
Finding space at the 40.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
He's going to go for a big play downfield.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by David Long.
And the Raiders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Throwing, Mayfield.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 21-0.
Broncos 21, Raiders nothing. Mike Badgley set to kick off.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Hurry, hurry! Real.
Now Mayfield. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Mayfield to throw it. And this one is incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there, and they didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll roll him out right. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by David Long. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders get a late score here in the final minute of the 1st half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the 2nd quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This is caught inside the 15.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Auden Tate as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of the spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
In motion goes the tight end. 3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Hey, alert 33. Hey, alert, alert, alert.
Mayfield on play action. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Baker Mayfield only 6'1", but he can certainly sling it, and we saw evidence of that right there.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
117 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
In motion comes the tight end left.
Here's Jacobs.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Second down and goal. Mayfield.
And then he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. To throw, Mayfield. Toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch a game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Mayfield keeps it himself. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Bronco defense comes up big. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they don't get the push, you can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now Wilson back into his end zone. He's got a man complete. He's at the 40. 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 91 yards. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run on the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, Let's just say it's been unusual.
That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Good for Las Vegas. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Play fake. Mayfield. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get down.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 41.
Point it right. Run.
Back to throw here. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the stick, 2nd and 15. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. Room here to run. The 20. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 164 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 5, here's 2nd and 2. Mayfield now. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Davante Adams, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Raiders get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. This is caught by Tate. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now Wilson on first down.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. They're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And now here is another interception. It's a room to maneuver. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
After the interception, here's Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Play action. It's Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
Badgley able to punch this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On second down, Jacobs. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The Raiders on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be third and forever. From the gun, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10.
At the 41-yard line.
On 1st down, Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball. They're still throwing the football here. Obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw there complete to Hamler. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, That's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They run it again with Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one by the line of scrimmage.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
So a nice kick there as they're able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Mayfield. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to goal.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
19.
Wilson wants to throw it. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continued. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Raiders 14.
Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. Oh, Wilson going to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, big here in the 4th quarter, really big. That pass and incompletion. I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson. And the Raiders have got him. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Back to throw. Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. It got his man complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Here's the sneak with Wilson, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. All the
return. Here comes Smith out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
A first down throw for Mayfield. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
One last shot from Mayfield here. He finds his man, complete. That's Tucker. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off season. But on game day, you both want to show